Look, I want M&Ms without the brown M&M. I ain't being racist for M&Ms. I just don't like the flavor of the brown M&Ms. What do you mean it's chocolate? All M&Ms are chocolate, but they got the yellow ones, the red ones, the blue ones, the green ones. I just don't like the taste of the brown ones. But that's the chocolate flavor. What? Do as I say, or else I'm going to leave. I'm going to ask for a trade. Wait a second. What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider. Do me a favor. What are we going to talk about on this video? We're going to talk about a diva. Somebody that I kind of want to be traded now. And somebody that is possibly ruining his coach's career before it technically even started. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider donating, becoming a member of this channel for early and exclusive and clip content. And if you'd like to support your boy, we have donation portals down below. There is some merchandise. Hopefully I have some merchandise this year. Buy me some tacos. Your boy needs to eat some turkey tacos because they're healthier. But hey, I appreciate you. All right, Raider Nation. Davante Adams, you're a fucking bitch. I don't know what the fuck is going on with you. I love you, brother. I'm proud you're a Raider. But I'm starting to say, get the fuck out of here. I'm thinking we can trade you and get some value for next year. This ain't every year we say, this is our year, this is our year. Well, guess what? It's not even week 1 of the season, and I'm already like, fuck it. Next year's our year. Because there's a scenario where, and I don't want this to happen, we lose a lot of games. We draft a quarterback early, or we get a veteran quarterback, a Dak Prescott, or whoever might be available, and we got a couple of draft picks in the first round if we trade your ass, Davante, before next year. But I'm starting to think that maybe you technically want to be traded now because you believe this is a wash for the Raiders with our young quarterbacks who Gardner Minshew was just named quarterback. I believe you've started to create a problem to get traded because you truly, in your heart, have one foot out the door and or want to be traded to a team that's going to go to the playoffs. And I don't believe you think the Raiders are going to the playoffs. It's just my opinion, allegedly. People are like, what the fuck you talking about, Mickey Raider? There ain't no problem with Davante. Well, y'all motherfuckers ain't been paying attention to the Raiders or my channel or watching the clips of the press conferences from the coach, watching what the players say, and using your foreknowledge to explain the situation. There was trade rumors for Davante all off season. Why? Why? Well, because any semi-professional person will look at his contract and know that next year he gets, or this year, all his guaranteed money is paid off. By the 3rd week of the season, all his guaranteed money's paid off from his contract. Then next season, he still has got a contract, but it goes to like $40 million a year. What quarterback's making $40 million a year? Justin Jefferson's probably only making 34, 35. So what quarterback will be on the roster at his age next year making $40 million for a team without a quarterback? No! Body thinks that. That's why the media and everybody's reporting that he could be traded before the draft. He could be traded this year before the trade deadline. or he'll definitely be traded before next year. Then we got people on Raider shows and stuff like that. They're like, there ain't no problem. They're going to redo his contract. He's a Raider for life. And he even publicly said it. I'm a Raider for now. I'm here, ain't I? I'm a Raider for now. They built the Taco Bell in his motherfucking house. He's doing all the podcasts this season, or this off season. And he had a new baby. He did the TV show for Netflix or whoever it was, HBO Max, called Receiver. And we saw what he was going through last year. But it was only with Josh McDaniels, Michael. When Aiden O'Connell came in, they were golden. No. He just went along for the ride and was having a better time because we had Antonio Pierce as the coach. And he was hoping and trying to help Aiden O'Connell out as best as possible by not being a distraction. But clearly, just watching that Receiver show, he was hamming it up for the cameras. He was voicing his frustration a lot. But in the press conferences after those games, he didn't really speak up with his true intentions because he doesn't need to. He just needs to put his body against the wall. He needs to sit down and go like this. Oh, my shoulder, they hit me. There's hospital balls. Look, and I ain't saying that he did not go through that. He did. But it's because he's a veteran and he doesn't know how to voice his frustration with McDaniels and everybody else, but he knew cameras were on him. So, I'm not saying he was not injured, he wasn't hurt, or he wasn't pissed off, which he was, and deservedly, at many occasions. But he hammed it up. It's like those people on TikTok or Twitter, whenever something bad happens or they feel bad, they turn on the camera and then they cry. And then they write something like, I lost a family member today, or, I lost a patient as their nurse. I lost a patient today. Then the camera is on them like this. That's called hamming it up for the cameras. Yes, they possibly lost a patient. Yes, they feel bad they lost a family member. Yes, they're injured in the game and don't feel so great and they're not happy. But they specifically said, I need to put this on camera and let the world see my emotions, and technically I hope it goes viral. That's fake hamming it up for the cameras. And I believe Davante did that a little bit. Plus, he was being on all the cameras in the offseason, building Taco Bell's commercials, and he might have did that last year, but still, he was on all the podcasts this year. And he's looking for his future beyond football. He knows he's only got a couple of years left. He even said so. Does he want those couple of years to be with the Raiders? No. Not after everything that's happened in 2 years of him being here on the team. The Derek Carr losing his best friend as the quarterback, Josh McDaniels, now young quarterbacks that are throwing hospital balls. He's afraid to get injured. He's afraid to get hurt for his life or the rest of his 2 or 3 years that might be left. And he wants out. He has 1 foot out the door. He has 1 foot out the door, and he ain't going to say that publicly, but all the actions are saying what it is. Okay? All the actions are saying what it is. And the straw that blew the camel's back, or whatever the phrase is, happened this past week. Because Davante Adams was missing in training camp. for about 5 days. Why? They didn't give an answer. Then there wasn't a lot of big plays reported on with Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell throwing a big plays to him. Again, he wasn't the camp darling, which you think he should be. He probably didn't want to practice. He was looking for every excuse not to practice. Yes, he went and trained a little bit. Of course he did. But like I said, he's going into this year with one foot out the door. Oh, but Mikey Raider, he's expecting to be a father. That's what's going on. His mind is all about family and his wife's health and his baby's health. I understand that. I get it. No freaking problem. Maybe that's why the Raiders, were appreciating to him and agreeing with him and letting him kind of sit out practices or not go 100%. I ain't nobody going to go 100% in training camp or the preseason, Mikey Raider. They don't want to get injured, Mikey Raider. Wait a second. I think there's players that still go 100% and win on other teams at the wide receiver position. There's Max Crosby, stuff like that. Justin Jefferson. Maybe not this past year, but the first 2 or 3 years, he was doing it. Again, may not be factual. I'd have to look up to that, but he's a veteran, so he's going to get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to all this training camp and preseason stuff. But what had happened was, in week 1 of the preseason, Davante didn't play. Pretty much every starter played, because Antonio Pierce told people in the press, all the starters are going to play, blah, blah, blah. Davante did not play in that week 1 game versus the Vikings. He didn't even travel. But that's because apparently he just had a baby boy. Congratulations, Davante. Hopefully healthy and blessed. I love you. So that was the excuse for that game. Now it's week 2. The media said, hey, is Davante, are you excited about playing in the second preseason game? Now that you had a baby boy and everything seems to be going pretty good. If it was my choice, I wouldn't play in a home game with the Jim Otto family lighting the eternal flame for the Raiders. If it was my choice, this is on Monday. If it was my choice, I wouldn't play in the preseason. I haven't played in the preseason for, since 2017. Okay, Davante, we know your opinion. But we heard what Antonio Pierce said in week 1 of the preseason. If you're a starter, you're going to play. Max Crosby played. Kobe Myers played. Robert Spillane played. I think he played. Maybe he didn't. But then Wednesday comes around. Now the media talks to Antonio Pierce. And they say, hey, Antonio, did you hear what Davante said? That if it was his choice, he doesn't want to play in the preseason? But Antonio, you said the starters are going to play. Has your position changed, Antonio? Now Antonio's the coach, trying to build a swag, trying to build a franchise, trying to get the players to believe in him, trying to show that pride, that power, and take control of this team and build it into a winning franchise in a new culture. And he says, if you're healthy, you're going to play. That was a direct quote from Antonio Pierce. If you're healthy, you're going to play. That means he was already pissed off about week 1. He's probably still pissed off about training camp and Davante Adams maybe making a lot of excuses. Because like I said, he has one foot out the door. He won't say that publicly, but he does. All his guaranteed money is paid off this year. What can he lose? He can get another contract with another team. More guaranteed money for his life and his career. So he's in a scenario where he might be trying to make it happen. behind the scenes. But Antonio Pierce said, if you're healthy, you're going to play. Some meetings like Davante Adams going to play. He might not play a lot, but he going to dress and he going to play. That was on Wednesday. Something happened on Thursday. We didn't know anything about it. Something happened on Friday. We didn't know anything about it. Then the game comes on Saturday. We're all predicting Davante Adams to play a little bit, build a chemistry with Gardner Minshew. Come to find out, first off, Brock Bowers didn't play. Apparently, he got injured with his foot on Thursday. Brock Bowers did. So he's injured. He ain't going to play. But remember, if you're healthy, you're going to play. So Davante Adams is healthy. Now the game starts. Daniel LaRusso is going to fight. Daniel LaRusso is going to fight. Sorry, it should have been Davante Adams is going to play. Davante Adams is going to play. But what had happened was, if you're healthy, you're going to play. Well, guess what? Davante Adams came down with the something. On Thursday, Davante Adams came down with the something. That fucking something, that something fucks everybody. Man, I had the something yesterday, 2 days before it. Most of my life, that fucking something is a doozy. That something, man, makes it hard to go to school, makes it hard to go to work, makes it hard to wake up, makes it hard to go to the bathroom, that something. So Davante Adams on Thursday, after Antonio Pierce said, if you're healthy, you're going to play, all of a sudden, Davante Adams had something. That something got him. So he told the coaching staff on Friday something. Yeah, the something got me. I know you said if you're healthy, you're going to play. I ain't healthy. I got something. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to be able to play. So let's think about that. If it was your choice, you wouldn't play in the preseason. If it was your choice, you wouldn't play in the preseason, right, Davante? And then all of a sudden, after Antonio Pierce says, if you're healthy, you're going to play, you got the something the next day after you heard that. Well, it depends what that something is. We didn't know. Then, after the game, even the press did not know Davante was going to play, or if he was going to play or not. They asked Antonio Pierce the question, what happened with Davante? We saw him not even dressed, hanging out on the sidelines, eating sunflower seeds, laughing. Now Antonio Pierce has been put to the fire to answer the question correctly and tell the truth of what actually happened and how Davante is going around the system, going around Antonio Pierce's thought process and his power. And Davante Adams is probably sabotaging Antonio Pierce's word and his power already in the preseason. I mean, you guys might not see it that way, but I do. Like I said, Mikey Rader has foreknowledge, and I've been talking about this all season, or off-season. Davante Adams is becoming a problem. But it depends on what that something was that made him not healthy. So the reporters asked Antonio Pierce, hey, Antonio, we noticed Davante wasn't out there, and you said if players were healthy, they would play. So what happened there? Well, yeah, I don't know. I have to lie here, cause shit. Go back and watch the press conference. after the game. I don't know. Something happened like on Thursday. Like he went to practice and maybe he pulled his leg or, did something or it was a little tender or whatever. And then we found out like on Friday he told us. And so yeah, he wasn't healthy. Oh shit, I smell something. What do I smell? What do I smell? What do I smell? Is it bullshit? Is it a lie? All of the above. Mikey Rader smelled all that shit and above at the press conference from Antonio Pierce losing the team already in week 2. Davante is going around the system and not even owning up to a truth of the situation. If he literally tweaked a hamstring, pulled a muscle, sprained an ankle, they would have said the specifics in the press conference. Oh, Davante did this. But Antonio Pierce was like, all over the place. I think he did so. What had happened was maybe the Raiders team knows that Davante didn't want to play. Maybe the training staff told Antonio Pierce, oh, he did something. He got the something. Or Mark Davis or somebody said, hey, that's our veteran. You have to do as he says. Davante's running the team. If he don't want to play, he's not going to play. But then again, Max Crosby played, wants to be a Raider, wants to build a winning team, wants to build a winning culture. But Davante doesn't have that hunger, doesn't have that fire. And he's coming down with the somethings. Again, whether Davante made it up or the team made that decision against Antonio Pierce, I don't know. Will there be a bigger excuse in the days to come? Oh, it actually, he actually sprained his ankle a little bit, so he's definitely not going to practice this week. He'll be back, before the first game of the regular season. That's really what happened. So then everybody goes, see, Mikey Rader? It wasn't an excuse. It wasn't a lie. He really, 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 really tweaked his ankle, and he really, really had something. That's just a public propaganda bullshit lie. I lived my whole life watching people lie to me. I've lived my whole life with bullshit and lies. That's why I have so much fucking trauma and I don't trust people. I don't trust anybody. Sometimes I don't even trust myself. That's why I'm a conspiracy theorist, because I look for the truth behind the lies and the bullshit. And the truth is, there's a situation with Davante Adams versus Antonio Pierce, and the diva nature, he's becoming a problem. And it fucking sucks because Davante Adams says he's all in for the Raiders. He wants to be a Raider. He's proud to be a Raider. And a lot of these things are proving otherwise, that he was in it for the money. Maybe not the first year, maybe not in the beginning of the second year, but definitely after that Josh McDaniels situation and realizing we don't have a quarterback because we didn't draft one, Davante's like, I'm out! I'm fucking out! I'm going to have a baby. I want to be at home with my daughter, my new baby boy. I'm out. I got all my guaranteed money in week 3 by this year. I'm out. But I can't say it publicly. And he talks about his money on every podcast. Hey, they paid me a lot of money. They paid me a lot of money to come here and try to win and build this franchise. They paid me a lot of money. That means you got money on the mind, not about being a Raider all the time. You got money on the mind. Money on the mind is not about being a Raider all the time. Building a franchise for us. and getting the swag back for us. It's the new Raider way. The new Raider way. But Davante has got to get his way because it's all about the money. All about the money. All about the money, honey. And his family. But it's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money and his health. I said it enough in this video. This is going to be a storyline that continues this entire season. Davante Adams has one foot out the door, and I'm still sticking to it. If we win early and often, it'll be okay. If we lose, if there's a lot of hospital balls thrown to him by Minshew or Aiden O'Connell, this Davante situation, he will force a trade and become more publicly pissed off before the trade deadline. Whether you agree or you don't agree, there's some Davante Adams versus Antonio Pierce situation going on. The veteran is using his veteranness to pull one over on the team, to not practice, and to not even do what the coach says when he's trying to build a winning culture. Boggles my mind. But again, the excuses are going to come. They're going to say the injury was valid, or he wasn't healthy, or he had a cold, but he had the something. So the sheep of Raider Nation is going to go along with it. Yes, what happened, Mikey Raider? Shut the fuck up, Mikey Raider. You're too critical, Mikey Raider. Mikey Raider, it's just the preseason, Mikey Raider. What type of winning mentality is that? Huh? Yeah, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. That's right. With that brand new Raider jersey from last season. Can't even represent the old school Raiders because you're a new Raider fan. And you think it's just the preseason. You're like, it's just the preseason, Mikey. It don't matter. It don't matter, Mikey Raider. What type of losing mentality do you have? If we win in the preseason, and if we fight to win, even if we don't win, if our players are told if they're healthy to go onto the field, they're going to play. If they would show some leadership to the rest of these young players and the rest of the team like Max Crosby does on a weekly basis, we can build that winning culture under Antonio Pierce. But clearly there's some people not doing that. And then you don't care if we lose? No matter how bad we lost to the Cowboys as well? You don't care if we lose? Because it's the preseason. It don't matter. Get the fuck out of my circle. You see that circle? You see this fucking circle? You see it? Get far away, you fucking losing mentality people. Do you know the Raider slogan, just win, baby? Huh? Or are you living that slogan of the past 20 years where it's just win, maybe? Get the fuck out of here. I'm Mikey Raider. You're going to get my honest take this entire season. No matter good or bad or the ugly, I'm going to give it to you straight. But if I'm healthy, I'm going to do a podcast this week. If I'm healthy, I'm going to do a podcast this week. I hope that something doesn't get to me.